Hello everyone. This is a Utilitech 16-inch pedestal fan. I've had this fan for a little over 6 months now, and it's been doing pretty well. Although the process to get this fan at the time of purchase was an actual fiasco. It was crazy how much of a issue and hassle it was. So I plan on purchasing this fan like about a month earlier than the month I got it. So if I got it that month earlier, it would have been 7 months old. But I got this fan. I wanted to get this fan because we needed a pedestal fan for the long room. This one replaced a Honeywell quiet set that was donated to a local business that needed it more than us. And I just remember that whenever I went into the store said it had it in stock and that it was on the floor. But whenever I got there, they were nowhere to be found. And I asked a associate to come and help me find out where this fan was. So I showed him and they said we do have it in stock. But then he leads me outside where they store all the stuff in the gardening center, because this was a hardware store. And so we go outside and I see it's all the way on the top shelf. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, good grief. And so we go up all the way, and so he goes up to the shelf and says, I'm going to go get someone to get this down for you. And keep in mind, this fan was all completely saran wrapped and packed. He said that he was going to go get someone for me, and that they'd get it down, they'd unpack it, and then they'd put it back up and stock it. Now here's the thing. Whenever I waited for almost 15 minutes for someone to come, and nobody came, so I left the store. And so I waited about a month. I thought that maybe in a month they'd at least have it stocked, so I waited about a month, and then I checked the website again. They still had it in stock, so I got it. I ordered it on the website, maybe hopes that they would get it down and just ship it. But I went for the in-store pickup. So whenever I got there, they said the order was placed successfully, that it was all in stock, and so whenever it said it was time to go there and pick it up, I get there and they said they haven't even gotten the order. They got the order, but they haven't even picked it up from the side where, or from the place where it was supposed to be picked up, and I was absolutely dumbfounded. So I waited there for 30 minutes for them to go get this fan and then bring it down. And they bring it down, I take it home, and then the next fiasco with this starts. So once I get it all built, it's all put together, I start it up, and the fan runs very slowly. And I thought, okay, this is weird. And so I thought maybe it just needed to be warmed up a little bit. Maybe the bearings were cold because it was a little bit chilly outside at the time. And we needed this to like move the heat around the house. But this is where things got really strange. It never warmed up. The motor got really hot and it was humming very loudly. You could put your hand on any part of the fan and it was vibrating. You could feel the motor vibrating. And so I was like, okay, this is now a bearing issue. So I stopped using the fan because I don't want to burn the motor out and overheat it. So then I take the fan apart and I take the motor apart. And lo and behold, the motor has little to no lubrication at all in any of the bearings. And so I lubricate the bearings, put the fan back together, and lo and behold, it works. And it worked really well, and it was very quiet. And it moves a lot of air compared to the pitch side of the blades, the pitch on the blades. And I've been extremely satisfied with this fan since. It's performed extremely well and hasn't let me down in any way. So the blades are very thin. They're very flimsy. I have no idea how the blades do not warp under the force of the air, but I'm guessing it has to do with something like centrifugal force or something like that. So anyways, the fan does have a standard fuse plug, so at least that's replaceable. We're going to be testing it on 117.5 volts. I'm going to go ahead and start it off on the low. So fairly quiet, but very good airstream. Very, very strong airstream for those blades. But also very quiet at the same time. And we're drawing 0.28 amps. 32.7 watts. With a power factor of 0.98. So pretty good. Pretty good power factor. Alright. So we'll go ahead and go up to speed 2 now. Pretty big jump and moderate jump in speed. Not very much, but enough. The airflow is a little bit stronger now too. Medium is typically what we use it during the day. Still not very loud. Still in a very well acceptable range. I'm starting to feel the air start to circulate back toward the fan. So it's got a very strong current of air. We're drawing 0.31 amps. So a little bit more. 36.7 watts. With a power factor of 0.99. So still pretty good. So yeah. Alright, now we'll go ahead and jump to the high. And this is high. Airflow still feels the same, but it's more. You can see it's a little bit more. And it's doing very well. The air it's moving is very nice. It's a very gentle breeze. It's not very harsh like a high velocity fan. It's definitely made for indoor use. And now we're drawing 0.36 amps with 41.9 watts and 0.98 with the power factor. So pretty good. We'll go ahead and test out the oscillation. So pretty good oscillation speed, a little bit fast for what I'd like it to be. It definitely gets the job done, but I'd like it to be a little bit slower, so that way it wouldn't, move the breeze around so quickly. There we go. Alright, now we'll go ahead and do a spin down test. So as you can see, ever since I've oiled it, the spin down has gotten a lot better. It used to be like the blade would just immediately stop as soon as you turn it off. The spin down didn't even last for 5 seconds. It stopped really quickly. So anyways, that is the Utilitech 16-inch pedestal fan. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.